Hejsa. I have started this, I guess, slow stitching project for no other reason than I needed something to work on in the evenings while we're sitting and watching TV. Although I do have a few other projects on the go that I could, I guess, work on while I'm watching TV. I just wanted something where I don't need to do too much thinking, and where the result doesn't really matter. So I literally just grabbed some random scraps that were on my desk, and then I started stitching things together to see what I could make. I think sometimes watch videos about slow stitching and it seems like people are spending a lot of time finding just the right things to add. Obviously there's nothing at all wrong with that, but I just really like just pick up random things and see what you can make with it. So that's what I'm doing with this little project. I don't know what I'm going to do with it once it's finished. I don't know when it'll be finished. That's all fine. I don't mind one bit. So I thought I would make some little, I've already made one circle. I wanted to make another one. To be honest, it is easier to make these when you also use an iron so that you can flatten the edges properly, but I can't be bothered to get out the iron just to sort out a few little circles. So it will just have to be nice and wonky. Right, let's see if I can do this without messing it up. I can't talk and not mess this up at the same time. Alright, yeah, that's about as good as it gets. So all these bits are all from different projects, and it's funny that I've got this fabric. You can get a better idea of what it might look like, and the green color is almost the same as that solid green, so I thought they would go nicely together. Alright, let's see if I can get this out. Oh, no. First, I just want to press the edges with my nail just so that maybe we can pretend like it's been ironed. I also just cut these circles from, what did I use? Oh yeah, some rolls of tape that I just drew around. I also made a very wonky hexagon that I used here. Alright, so my idea was that I wanted to put this maybe here. I don't know. Maybe there should be a circle. No, it goes over here, I think. I like this kind of project where you have no plan from the start of what you want to make or what you want it to look like. You just sort of start somewhere and then see what needs to be added next. Right, this green thread was actually not part of my original little stash that I've got here for this project, but it was right there and I needed a green. And there are no rules for what I can and cannot use. I could go and find various bits to add on to it. Maybe I will, maybe I'll just stick with what I've got. This one I'm not entirely sure that I want to include. I think it's this sort of turquoise here that bothers me. Maybe if I put that blue on top of it, that might bother me less. I don't know. For now I'm going to focus on my wonky little circle. It's got a weird little Do you do slow stitching, this sort of project where you just more or less using random things? I go through phases where I do it quite a lot, and then at other times, well, I guess I don't. I've just got myself tangled up in my ring. Sometimes I make a base of this slow stitching thing, and then I embroider something on top, which I also really like. Especially then to use maybe like a really dark blue or even a black. Although I don't really use black a lot. I feel like often it's too much of a contrast with the other things, the fabrics and the other threads. But sometimes it works. This thread keeps getting caught on things. So I'm not trying to be particularly careful with the stitching. I'm not going for invisible stitches either. I think my favorite thing about working on this sort of project is the overall texture. So you get areas that are very heavily stitched and some maybe less so, but then maybe they've got other elements like applique or a bit of a random coat block or some lace maybe. Just whatever I might just have lying around. And here that thread goes again. Oh no, that was not good. I was not supposed to put the thread through here. No, just do a stitch. Never mind, carry on. I don't really go in charity shops where I might find interesting fabrics that I could use for this sort of thing, so I just use, I don't know, modern fabrics, which I think works just as well, although this one is actually from a charity shop. I have another slow stitching project that I started at the beginning of the year, and I think my intention was to work on it on the festivals or Sabbaths, whatever you want to call it, of the wheel of the year. I divided it into 8 colourful sections, but I haven't really had time to work on it, and to be honest, I don't actually know where it is right now. Maybe I should have a look for it. Something else I could be working on when I'm watching TV. I hope I've got enough of this green thread. I think I might stitch something inside this one just to break it up, because it does stand out quite a lot with the other things that are sort of patterned, or you can see the woven threads in this one. So I think this needs to be broken up a little bit. What I aim for when I'm working on a slow stitching thing is that in the end, whatever the end becomes, that it feels like everything is part of a whole, that they were sort of meant to be together. And sometimes it takes a while to get there. And I guess it depends on the things you use. So this back here, I've used some quilt wadding. It's actually 3 pieces that I've stitched together, but up here I hadn't stitched it properly together, so it needed a bit of reinforcement. Right. Don't know what to do next. Actually, I think I'm going to take this off. That edge there bothers me. Don't know if maybe I put it right on the edge and then no, it's gotta come off. It doesn't really work. I think that's better now. I have to put something else there just don't know what. So these are the things I've got, but I kind of used them already. I could use some more of this, but I don't think I'd use this again. And then I've got some hot pink yarn. Well, it's more than hot pink, it's neon pink, which I thought would be a fun contrast with all these fabrics that feel sort of vintagey. Alright, then there's the green, which I might use, and this one, because it's sort of the background here, I'm not sure that it will work somewhere else. And then there's some more of this. Probably won't use it, although maybe I could do an applique circle with it. That might work. And this one, I think if I want to use it again, it should be over here maybe, or I don't know, maybe in the middle. So that's what I've got. And I've got this nice Orville thread. It's variegated. It's my favorite color. It's, at least I think it's my favorite. Yeah, it is that one. It's called Pink Taffy, which is a fun word. I'm not entirely sure what taffy is, or if it exists in pink. But I like this variegated color. Yes, I don't know. I think that's all I've got to say about this for now. I might have a follow-up video about it at some point. I might not. I might forget where I put this. That seems to be what happens. So thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this bit of sewing nonsense. I hope you have a great day whatever you're making.